chooching. So, I've been playing, and smoky in here. Getting along pretty much. I think I'm pretty much done with how I want to fab it up and what's going where, and pretty much everything's been finalized and either tacked or welded fully in its place. So, I started, well, I don't think where I left off actually. The top tube that I had tacked in is now welded in complete. Then I cut the mounts off the frame. Where were they? I think they were right here and right here. Cut them off and re-welded them back up to the bottom of the tube, and just relocated the tank back on it. Where to go from there? The front extension of the forks I had to beef up. So I went to Home Depot and grabbed a 10-foot length of half-inch black iron pipe and sleeved 2 sections in it. There's 21 inches of tubing inserted inside it. It goes from here to here, and at the top of it is spring, so it's got some bounce still to it. So that give you the idea. And then I took it down the road, and it was good. I didn't want to make sure the handling was okay. I didn't have to change the geometry of anything. And it seemed fine. You know, it's a chopper. It's not a regular bike, so it does handle a little different, but it rides fine. Then, because it's so long, you get like, what you're doing at the handlebars isn't exactly what's happening at the tires here. You got a little bit of a delay, too much slop in the system, so I wanted to beef it up. And I beefed it up. I thought about actually last night what would make a good kind of crossover to tie the 2 sides together. And this morning I went down, there's a horse ranch down a couple miles away. I stopped in there and I asked them if they had any horseshoes, old horseshoes. Like, yeah, we got a barrel of them. And they walked me over to the barrel and I grabbed 6 horseshoes out of it. I said, can you pay something for them? She's like, oh no, just take them. So I took 2 of them, one here and one here. And that tied the 2 forks together so they're more one of a unit. And then did the same thing back here to kind of support the fender and support the whole front end. And now it's really nice. It's really stiff. Then I needed foot pegs. So I had these 2 old snap-on ratchet bodies that actually ended up coming from the dumpster of Orange County Choppers. When they made their snap-on bike, they had a whole bunch of cores that they used for different mock-up stuff, and then they just threw it all away. So I have 2 of those from there, and I sandblasted them and then just hit them down with a wire wheel and made my foot pegs out of them, and then stuck a wrench in between to just kind of help support them. I had them on straight first and it looked really good, but when I sat on the bike, I was tippy toes to go reach them, so I had to go kick them back just to make the distance a little bit shorter. What I really should have done was probably heated this part up right here. It started at the top and just kind of bent them around and then bent them around. It will look really cool and back that up some, but you don't know until you try. Exhaust. This is, I was at a yard sale and it was this and another pipe was attached to it in the front, all one. And it actually had a little jumper between the two of them off of some, I think it was probably some metric cruiser, you know, a larger bike. There's the rest of it right there. That's the other half of it. This was on here with that jumper and then another muffler coming out there. So that one on there, I like the way it sounds. The factory one, first of all, was just a pile of rust, and it sounded like too much like a moped, so I wanted to change it up just a little bit. And then this guy I put on, this is a I don't know what it's off of actually. I bought it at that swap meet bike show about 3 weeks ago, and it was cheap, but just a couple of bucks. So I went back to my pile and dragged that out, and I wanted something to cover the chain plus give a little bit more chrome to it, and that helped out a lot. So I drilled right through it from the backside and used the same bolt that holds the shock on, actually holds the guard onto it, and it goes with the swing arm. So headlight, I didn't change out what I was going to do. I have stayed with that flood lamp up in those old emergency packs that would hang in a building. You have two lights with a battery pack under it. That's one of those lights, 6 volt, and the bike's 6 volt too. Other than that, I made up the plate setup. I was gonna take the plate and kind of stick it on, curve it on the side, but the bike is so small and that plate is so large, it just stuck out and it was too bulky. But I actually ended up taking the original system back, but I just shifted the whole thing up top, and I kind of want to make it look like a kid's muscle bike, and they would have your name Bobby or whatever, you know, on the back of the sissy bar. So I'm kind of going with that idea. And I think what I want to do to try to shrink it down a little bit, I'll get like one of those frames that go around, and I'll paint it black, and visually it'll probably make the plate look a little smaller. I'm liking it. I talked to you Dizzy this morning on some paints, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going red, black, and chrome, I think is what I'm doing on it. I'm not sure, but I went and I grabbed, let's turn that paint on. I went and I grabbed an assortment of that new Rust-Oleum, the 2X. It's supposed to have a lot more pigment in the paint. So grabbed a couple of blacks, a couple of different reds, a metallic, otherwise known as silver, and just kind of see what we get when we spray them out and play with those. It's Home Depot stuff, and I need more. It's right down the road. I'll just go grab some more. So that's what's happening with the bike. It's looking pretty good. I like the way it rides. I'm pretty much liking the way it looks, and next step is just basically taking it all apart, kind of final welding everything, cleaning everything up, paint all the pieces, and put it all back together, and then dress it correctly. Right now everything's kind of slopped on it, you know, but I'm liking it. I like the way it looks. So buses, there's a difference. That would be 1 year difference. 67 and a 68 turn to that. That's the difference between the two buses. That's actually a 67 and a 71, but it hasn't looked any different. It cleaned up nice. I hit it with some bleach. I got all the black stuff off of it, and then on the sides of it, it had some rust kind of dripping down the side. I took some compound. The dust is still on it, but I got rid of all those brown rust stains that were running down it. A couple of guys are contacting me wanting to say, you know, I'll buy it the way it is, don't do anything to it. I'm going to clean it up and see what I can make out of it, and make whatever I can money-wise on it. I can't give them away, you know. So thanks for offering to take it as is, but I am going to go through it and clean it up and see what I can make out of it. All right, guys. Again, thanks for watching, and See you next time.